selected the Ultimate with Triple Bond. Your credit card could not be read. Please swipe again. Please wait while your transaction is processed.
Hello everyone! Welcome to today's installment of Mike's Vehicle Vlogs, and thank you so much for joining me today. So today we are celebrating 5 years of ownership with the 2015 Ford Fiesta SE. This car has pretty much been on the vlog channel almost since the very beginning. And I figure because I haven't had the time to really wash any of these cars by hand before summer ended, we're going to do the whole car wash thing again. So, cue the party music. Alright, so that's enough of that. But anyway, wow, this is a tiny car. This that thing really shakes this car. So we're going to be on our way to the filming location for today's anniversary vlog of the 5-year ownership of this Fiesta. I'm going to be honest with you guys, this probably is not going to be that long of a video, because I mean, it's still been a really great car. So yeah, I really don't know what I'm going to talk about. There's a few things that I've done within the last year, actually more recently, that I've done to this car, but other than that, not really anything. So we'll get it washed. I'll try to get some of the straw wrappers and stuff out of here after we're done with this, and then I'll just continue to give you guys my take on the ownership experience of this Ford Fiesta so far. Well, as usual, the laser wash, you know, like 99% top notch. But at least all the loose surface dirt's off of it. So I'm happy with it, you know. Nothing beats a good hand washing. But it's gonna snow today, and it is like 32 out here, so there's no way I'm hand washing it today. The laser wash is the next best thing. Let's get started. 2015 Ford Fiesta SE. 5 years of ownership this month. In fact, oh, it's starting to snow now. In fact, I'm actually, I think, a week early as I'm filming this. Today is January 2nd, 2022. Wow, that's weird to say. And this is the, like I said, I think it's a week out. January 11th, I believe, is the official 5-year anniversary of the car. I'm excited because it is almost paid off. So that means I could buy another car. No, I'm kidding. Well, who knows? We'll see. But yeah, January 11th is the official anniversary date. Oh, see, look. Now, I don't know what monster has been pooping on all 4 of the cars that I have. That is on every single car. And I've had every single car run through the wash, and it does not come off. Every car has that weird brown marking on it after it goes through the wash. It just does not want to leave. But that is not what this video is about. So, the funny thing about this car is, you know, I think I say it in every anniversary video. We weren't going for this car specifically when we were looking at cars for my wife to drive. I don't drive this car all the time. I drive this car once in a while. You can always bet around the anniversary I drive it, obviously, because of the fact that I'm making the videos. Every now and then I will take this car out. I love driving this car. I'm not going to lie. I wasn't sure how I was gonna, like it, when we were looking at it. It is a really fun car to drive. But there again, it's my wife's. We bought it for her, and she specifically wanted it for the color. So the color was her first choice. That's what attracted her to the car, and from there, obviously, test drove it. She didn't want a big car. I kind of threw the Focus in there, because obviously at the dealership they actually had more used Focuses to choose from when we were looking. I think this was maybe the only Fiesta at the time. But this is a sharp car, and I was like, all right, if you want to look at this one. So we test drove it. She felt comfortable with it. She didn't feel like it was too big. It really isn't all that big. It's easy to drive. It looks good, and it was actually a lot more obtainable financially than anything else that we had looked at. So we bought the car when it was 2 years old. I think it had 21,000 miles on it, and we have almost, I think it's at around 46,000 now. We'll double check when we get in there. So it doesn't really get driven a whole lot. My wife literally takes it to work and back throughout the week. Every now and then we will take it to do errands. She will take it to do errands. Within the first year, actually, this car has been to Columbus, Ohio 2 times, which is about a 3.5-ish hour drive from here, something like that. And it is a great car for long trips like that. And we didn't have to stop for gas once. We didn't even have to fill up leaving Columbus. This car made it to there and from there on one whole tank of gas. And when we got home, I think it said there was like 40 miles left on the tank till empty. That was really impressive. Absolutely impressive. But yeah, the car was like a fluke getting. And I do not regret this purchase at all. This car has been amazingly phenomenal. Everybody that I know, who knows a lot about cars, at the Ford dealership even, there are a lot of people who just say these things are junk. They are trash. They are cheap. I'm not going to lie. I honestly have yet to see that with this. And I don't know if it's just because, I tried to keep up with it. I tried to take care of it. Anything that happens to it, I try to take care of it right away. Always make sure the oil changes are done, within 5,000 miles. But I don't know. I really honestly have yet to have a problem with this. It's even weird because my sister, and I don't want to jinx anything, but my sister has a 17 Fiesta, and we are currently in the middle of a coolant fan issue with hers. So hers has less mileage than this. Cooling fan gave out, and like I said, there really hasn't been anything extremely wrong with this car. Nothing, honestly, nothing really is wrong with this car. Like I said, I don't want to knock it, don't want to jinx it, but I'm just really impressed for the car that it is. For the fact that everybody says how cheap they are and such. This car has been great. And I don't know, maybe it's because it doesn't get driven hard, it doesn't get driven all the time. But I don't know, I love this car, my wife loves this car, and even after it's paid off, I think there's maybe a little over a year left on payment, so it's getting down there. We're not getting rid of it. I know, even if I wanted to, she would not let me get rid of this car. So it's staying, even after it's paid off. because it is so far been that great of a car. Cosmetically, everything, nothing has really changed cosmetically. There's a few things here and there. I will say, as of this point in time, she is no longer in perfect shape, thanks to shopping carts in the plaza where my wife works. I think I mentioned it before that the paint, actually it really hasn't progressed, but the passenger side wiper arm, the paint started coming off at some point. You can kind of see how it's just kind of chipping away. The other side, a little bit there. I don't really care about that. I mean, those are easy to either paint or replace. But I did mention that at one point. When we bought the car, it's had some touch-ups done to it when it was, certified. So the front end, it had some chips. They took some touch-up paint. This side is still pretty clear. I did mention at one point a little bit of the black is peeling off of the windowsill covers, but that's really not that big of a deal. I think on both back little windows back here, this does appear to be fading. You can see how this is all smooth, and this, the coating or whatever is fading, and it is doing that on both of the little quarter windows. I don't know, I just recently noticed it not that long ago, so it just had to have started happening. Back here, nothing really back here. I did notice we do have one of these brake lamps out there burnt out. I just recently noticed that also. I was behind her one day, following her home, and I did notice that. Yeah, see, this one is also kind of doing the same thing. It's really not that big a deal. It's just weird how, those windows are kind of discolored. This was done within the last few years. That was a shopping cart incident. It actually took a large chunk out of the what I think is aluminum, because it hasn't rusted. I do have a paint pen that I have to really, I got to get on this, because I want to get some of these little scratches that are here. I really want to get them taken care of, but yeah, it's not rusting, so it must be aluminum. But I want to cover that up. This was already covered up, so this is a touch-up mark here. There was this scratch here. So it's usually this side, because this is the side that faces my wife's place of work. This is a good one. So this happened, I think it was within this year. I'm having a hard time remembering all this stuff between 4 cars now, but so this was a shopping cart incident. Again, took a large chunk of paint out. It actually dented the door in a little bit. I was able to open the door, and I slammed the door really hard, and the dent popped out. It's got a little bit of a crease where this fold is. I don't know if you can really see it, but anyway, all that's really left is the scratch. This one over here, though, this is the most recent. This one upsets me. But that shopping cart there, that thing was gaining some speed, man, and it just put a nice dent in the fender. You can actually see the scuff marks where the corner of the cart was. I mean, that thing was going, and then boom. There ain't no fixing that. I don't think I can take that cover off and actually get to it. Can't get to it from the top. I'm not taking the fender off. It is what it is. That is part of this car's character now, unfortunately. But it was, when we bought it, other than like the touch-ups that they did before we bought the car, it was in immaculate shape when it was bought. It was only 2 years old, and no longer in perfect shape, but still a beautiful and well maintained looking car. I did mention at one point how these little flaps kind of come up. They haven't really gotten worse, I don't think. They just kind of, probably from the heat over the years. yeah, I don't know. It really hasn't gotten any worse, I don't think. I think that's it for the outside. The wheels, I tried to keep the brake dust off them. The car wash did an okay job. I love these wheels. This SE is actually very well equipped. Whoever ordered this before we bought it spec'd it out really nice. So this is the sport appearance wheels that are on this particular Fiesta, and these are 195/50 16s on here. So it definitely gives this one a much more sportier look. I would have vacuumed it out for the video, but unfortunately I don't have any quarters or dollars, and the machine that they have there for exchanging doesn't work for some reason. It is off. So it needs a good vacuuming. For the most part, the interior of this car has held up extremely well. The seats, no tears. I love the fabric. Again, this is part of the sport appearance package, I believe. This type of fabric with the contrasted stitching. I think that is part of the appearance. Seats need a good cleaning. This thing here did come off. It's been coming off, and I keep trying to fix it, but I think this tab in here is it just bends away from this, whatever you want to call that piece of the frame there that holds it on. But that's, oh, it actually broke from up there too. My sister is actually having the same problem, so that seems to be a common thing. I honestly don't care. I mean, it's not really hurting anything. It's just, you know, it's not like it's completely gone. But I guess that's one thing. Another thing that I mentioned was the handle. Every now and then, over the years, this inside piece feels like it pops out, and then when you go to grab the door to close it, like I did earlier, it snaps back into place. So that could be a thing in time, perhaps. Back seat never gets used other than for things like coats and stuff. So the back seat is pretty much almost brand new. I don't think we've ever really chauffeured people around in this car. Both keys are actually still running on the original batteries, and I think they are going to be up for replacement because I think the signal in them is starting to get weak. So that's nothing big there, but that's obviously something that, you know, we'll have to take care of. We are at 45,136 miles. 45,136 on the clock. I thought we were close to 46,000, but I was wrong. We did an oil change on it almost 1,000 miles ago. So she's got fresh oil in it. No lights, no warning lights, nothing. I never really had any warning lights. Tire pressure warning. I think that's the only thing that I've ever really seen come up. Nothing else. Everything else appears to be working. Everything in this car is so far very functional. There hasn't been any issues with anything in this car. Everything appears to work just fine. I know the big thing is sync. This original Microsoft sync system. I honestly really like this sync system. This one, you know, with all the color-coded keys for different, you know, things, different sections of the system, I've always liked it. I know a lot of people hate this system, but I don't know. I don't know if it's just because of the way it looks, but I've always enjoyed this system, and I've honestly never experienced any issues with this particular system in this car. My phone always connects to it. I know my wife from time to time has told me that her phone will not connect to it right away. But I don't know. Every time I'm here in the car, I never have a problem with it. It always seems to work for me. So, I don't know. But that was an option that they spec'd out when this car was ordered from, you know, for being brand new. And it just has the CD player down there. Got the buttons. It's not the Sony system. Still a really good sound system, though. I believe it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 speakers, I think. So it's a good sounding system. The automatic climate controls, they still work. We never use the auto setting. I honestly don't care for this particular system. I mean, I would honestly much rather have manual controls with this particular car, but it's okay. It is what it is. I will say that we've had to do 2 blend door actuators since we've owned this car. So technically it's on its 3rd one since it was built. The first time it was replaced, when we bought the car, it was clicking. We didn't have to pay for it because it was still under warranty. And I think it was about 2 years ago, at this point, we did the one that is in there now. So far, it is still good. It probably honestly will not be the last, because those actuators are known for stripping and they will eventually start clicking and giving me problems again. But it's just been the blend door. Haven't had to replace the temperature door actuator yet, just the blend door for the air direction. This one has heated seats. They work. It's also got the ambient lighting, which you can't really see, but it still works. In fact, all the colors still work just fine. We always leave it on blue, though. She likes the blue the best. The big thing about this car that everybody hates, and I get it, the 6-speed power shift DCT transmission, dual clutch transmission. It might look like a conventional automatic, but it's not. It is basically a manual transmission that is controlled by a computer. That's it. There's no torque converter, nothing. It is literally a manual transmission with a computer that tells it when to shift. And it's got a dual clutch. So that means one clutch is responsible for gears 1, 3, and 5, and there's another clutch that is responsible for gears 2, 4, and 6. And that is designed to enable quick shifting, and helps you save on gas with that little tiny itty bit of less power loss in between gears. So it does shift pretty quick, but they are known for failure. The clutch packs are known for failure. We've done it. We've had this one replaced. I think it was, I always forget the mileage, but I want to say it was around 27,000, 28,000 miles. So it's been in here for a while. So far, this clutch still feels perfectly fine. There's no shuddering. It still shifts like it's brand new. And hopefully there won't be any other issues regarding the clutch. I mean, I hope not. But if so, it happens, it happens. But yeah, so this clutch was done. And so far, it still feels perfectly fine after, like I said, either 27 or 28,000 miles-ish. It still feels like a brand new clutch. The one thing that we had to replace on this when we bought this car was this sun visor, because this door broke. Not that big a deal. But at the time, I wanted it to be replaced. This one, however, the door did break off that one somehow. Within, I think it was last year. I don't care. Car's out of warranty. I'm not going to pay $100 and some for this sun visor. That one never gets used anyway. Oh my word. The snow is coming. The snow is here. It is here. 1.6 liter Sigma 4-cylinder. The sewing machine engine, as one of the older sales guys that I used to work with called it, because it sounds like a little sewing machine. Doesn't seem very powerful. I forget what the horsepower rating is offhand. It's like 120 some horsepower, I think. But in this car, and combined with the dual clutch transmission, it does really do a good job at accelerating this car. So things that we've replaced under here within the 5-year ownership: the battery. The battery, I believe, was, see, I can't remember now. I want to say the battery's like 2 years old, maybe. No more than 3, but I'm pretty sure it's 2. So the battery was replaced at 2. there's the sticker that they put on the airbox for the clutch information when it was replaced. That's it. I got nothing else to say. This car is still holding coolant. That bottle hasn't started leaking yet like my sister's. I think my sister's broke from the fact that her fans quit working and the overheating, you know, the pressure, I think, broke the bottle. But everything is still working really fine under here. Car still runs smooth. Oh, it really has been an impressive power plant, an impressive car. Now, almost 2 years ago, I did put brakes on it. We did front brakes. The original brakes were coming, they weren't that bad. I mean, there was still a little bit of life left. But it was coming close to time to do brakes. So we ended up putting Napa branded front brakes on here. Like I said, almost 2 years ago at this point. And they are loud, they scream. Ever since I put brakes on here, they scream. So I thought maybe they needed to be broken in. Gave it some time. They still squeal. It's awful. So, to skip topic, I put tires on the car. Actually, this is a good story. So, last year, I put, or not last year, but I think it was toward the end of 2020, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember now. I replaced the front tires with Kelly edges. Good tire, good price. Didn't have the money at the time to do all four, so I got rid of the worst of the tires with some brand new Kellys. And we had the back tires making noise. They were hand cooks that came with the car, and they were at the point where they were cracking. I mean, the car only has 45,000 miles on it, and the tires were coming apart. Like, the tread was cracking so badly. It was so hard sounding, you know, I mean, it just roar. So finally it was time to get tires for the back. However, because of supply chain issues, the Kelly edges were no longer available, and I did not want to mix and match tires on this car. So I ended up replacing all four just recently, within the last month. So we have Continental's Extreme Contact tires on here now. So far, I really like these tires. I've never had a car with Continentals on them. These tires are really good so far. They're really smooth, they're quiet, they all balanced really well when I balanced them. Road forced good. So we got 4 new tires. Like I said, this was within the last month. I gave in, spent the $430 on 4 new tires. Prices went up because of the supply issues, of course. And I don't know, all I cared about was I didn't want any of those back tires blowing out. So we got these. In fact, I could show you. I have the 2 Kellys here in the trunk. They've only got like 5,000 miles on them. 4,000 or 5,000 miles. They're perfect. They are still in perfect condition. So I don't know if I'm gonna sell them, if I should hold on to them for a little bit. I gotta get them out of the trunk though. I want them in the house, in the basement. But yeah, they are perfectly good tires, and it sucks that I can't, you know, I just didn't want to end up putting different brand, different tread on there, you know. Not on these cars, on the good cars. If it was the, you know, the project cars, I wouldn't care so much. But on the good newer cars, they gotta have matching tires. So back to the brakes. So while I had the tires off, when I was doing the tire job, I did redo the brakes. I didn't change the parts, but what I did was I scuffed up the pads, because the pads glazed over. And the glaze is what was making the noise. It's like having glass on glass, basically. Makes sense, right? So I scuffed the pads up pretty good with a little whiz wheel. I re-greased my caliper pins, my slide pins, And I put it all back together, and guess what? It stopped. The squeak had stopped. Until recently. So it came back. I think it's honestly the pads at this point. When I bought the pads, I wanted factory spec. I didn't want anything cheap. I paid a lot of money for those pads. And this is what I got, squeaky brakes. So I don't know. Just gotta learn to live with it, I guess. But at least the tires are nice, and they're nice and quiet now too. This car is still really fun to drive, even after 5 years. I honestly would not mind having this car as my own, daily driver. Because, I really do. Every time I'm in this car, I do have fun driving it. It's a fun car to drive, and I think a lot of people, don't really understand that because they just right away think that it's a crappy car because it's, a cheaper end Ford. The only reason why I probably wouldn't drive it every day is because I do like to have a little more room. It's a little too small for me. That's my thing. For the times that I do, my tripod's rattling. For the times that I do drive it, I gotta move the seat all the way back, put the backrest back a little bit, and I can honestly drive this car pretty comfortably. But that doesn't mean I would want to, drive it like this every day. My Fusion, the Saab, and the Grand Am all give me the more legroom. That's what it is. But compared to what we had before this, which was a 99 Corolla, this is definitely much more comfortable to me as far as space compared to the Corolla was. Sorry, the tripod is sitting really funny today. It's pretty quiet. It's a lot better now that there's no tire noise. You guys hear anything? Car still puts out good heat. The heated seats are still a blessing on a cold day like today. The car still does not need anything like a front end alignment. It still drives perfectly straight. The play in the wheel, no play. Still really tight. I mean, it does not take much to get this car to turn. With the size, it being a little bit of a narrow car, it responds quickly, and that's one of the things that I love about this car is it's just really easy to drive. It's easy to handle. It responds on a dime. It takes off really, really decently. I can't complain about anything with the car. I don't think my wife really cares about this stuff as much as I do. She just wants something that gets her to work and back comfortably and safely, and that seems to, that's what works. This is what works for her. But, me, I gotta look into it a little more. I'm a car guy. Like I said, both times that we've taken the car to Columbus within the first year that we bought it, it only took 1 tank of gas to and from. That's it. Didn't have to fill it up before we left Columbus, nothing. This car still sips gas like nothing. It is low on gas now. The car probably hasn't had gas put in it in 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks maybe, and it's just now low. I'm gonna put gas in it before I go back home. It's a really nice fuel saving car. I'm just honestly really, really happy with this purchase that we've had for 5 years now. We've had a lot of good luck with this car. I can only hope that, this good luck carries on throughout the rest of our ownership. I know the older it gets, stuff's gonna start breaking, and that's fine. That's just normal. You're gonna get that with any car. Just as long as it's nothing major, like actual transmission failure or engine failure or some bad electrical failure. You know, I could deal with maintenance and stuff, obviously. I hate to see this car have some sort of catastrophic failure somewhere else. Hopefully it does not present anything like that. Keep up with maintenance on it. You know, I mean, oil changes are key, obviously, for these engines, especially this with the variable cam timing. So yeah, definitely key there. But it's been great. I can only hope that we continue to get a lot of amazing time, stress-free time, you know, out of this car. It's been great. Alright guys, so that's it. That's all I've got to say about it. 2015 Ford Fiesta SE. Excellent car so far. 5 years in. Definitely the longest lasting car that I've had title to my name. Yeah, I still don't see it going anywhere. Love this car. No regrets on buying it. And let's just hope it keeps up. It keeps up with what it's doing. So guys, if you enjoyed this vlog, give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe. Check out teespring.com/store/Mike's Vehicle Spotlight for all of your MVS and vlog merchandise. That's all that I've got for today, guys. So I will see you next time. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.